Nicole, I need some final thoughts from you on this. So anything you want to leave us a little better than how you found us about family law?
Sure. So custody, in my opinion, is the most litigated issue that you see in family court. It's the most emotional, and it's something that's always ongoing even after the divorce. So children are constantly changing, and your relationship with the other parent is changing as well. So what worked when your child was 3 and you just broke up may not work when the child is 13. It's important to keep in mind how your actions will affect the child. So as we talked about in the first segment, be careful about what you're posting online, the statements that you're making about that other party, especially when the child gets older. They're going to see what you post, especially if it's on social media. They have a way to access that information. Once a child is 18, you no longer have a legal obligation to support them, but anyone that has a child knows that you're a parent for life, and that means you're going to be a co-parent for life. So try to make sure that you are maintaining a good relationship with the other parent, because ultimately that's going to benefit the child. And as it relates to your custody agreement, the goal is to make sure that it's drafted in a way that you don't have to constantly be revising it. You want it to be something that you can work through for several years, that you and the other party understand the provisions, it's specific when it needs to be, but that both of you are flexible when it's in the best interest of the child.
And things are going to change, but you can draft it up smartly enough.
Right.
To where it can account for some of those changes. And if you got to go back and make some adjustments along the line, that's totally cool too. But again, I think the wisdom that you shared from a previous segment was that there's so many things that you see classically done wrong all the time, and they're failing way too often and way too fast.
Right. Usually we draft an agreement and I tell my client, let's wait 12 months. Let's see every single day in that year what worked, what didn't. And from there, we can make some minor revisions, but hopefully that second draft will carry you through until the child's 18.
Yeah, that's well said. What's the most common mistake that you see on both sides, either from your clients or the clients on the other side of the conversation, make all the time?
Too vague. So visitation as agreed upon. There's no specific dates. There's no specific times. And when the parents start to have a disagreement, one parent can just withhold the other child and there's nothing you can do. So having the misconception that you're always going to be able to work together, just make sure there's a fallback in the agreement regarding a specific schedule.
Gang, that's why we've got her on the show, and I hope that she had a good enough time hanging out with us where she's willing to grace her with her presence again. That's Nicole Boros, borosfamilylaw.com. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me again.
Appreciate you so much, and the infinite wisdom that you consistently drop. And gang, if you want to learn more about what she's doing, first of all, go check her out on Avvo, so that you don't have to take our word for it. That's avvo.com. It's kind of like the Yelp for lawyers and stuff, right? That you're doing what you do. And then go ahead and do some voyeuring on her website at borosfamilylaw.com. And gang, for us, that's going to do it for another mind-blowing episode of the Truth Radio Nation. We appreciate you for hanging out. Engineer Steve in the booth, thank you for always making it fun. Producer Adrian behind the camera for keeping this whole thing live, and you for hanging out. We'll catch you back here next week.